Good afternoon. It's Midday News on OGTV. My name is Opeyemi Adeomi. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has directed that security be beefed up in all educational institutions in the state. The governor, through his chief of staff, Alhaji Shuaib Afolabi Salisu, made this declaration while addressing the student union body who were at the governor's office to thank the governor for his proactive response to the rescue of abducted students of Olabisi Onabanjo University. Governor's office correspondent Tunde Olaniro reports.
Of the Olabisi Onabanjo University, identified as Adeyemo Precious Oyefule Abiola, studying forestry and wildlife management and agricultural economics, respectively, were abducted on Sunday. The government of Ogun State, with the security agencies in the state, ensured their release. Hence the reason for this thank you song on the lips of the students.
Because he didn't look at it from the angle that is the governor, but he saw himself as a father and acted the way an average Nigerian father would act. All those calls and those efforts, those proactive efforts he made yesterday gave birth to the release of our sisters.
Something gave us joy, that the governor didn't see himself as His Excellency. He was putting calls through by himself to check on everybody, to check on the police officers in the bush, to check on the father of these children, how they are faring. We left Tayoto, we got about the commissioner of police. As we are entering, we saw him, we met him talking with the SSG again. Then that gave us the assurance, again, that this government is not just a government. This government is a combination of superheroes. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria that somebody was kidnapped and within 24 hours, within 24 hours, they are not just released, but they are released unhurt.
The governor of Ogun State, Prince Abiodun, speaking through his chief of staff, Alhaji Shuaib Afolabi Salisu, said the safety and security of every inhabitant of the state is of great importance to his administration, which the government is committed to.
All the efforts that we are making to ensure that every part of Ogun State, every square meter of Ogun State is secured, regardless of where that location is. Whether that location is in the Ijebu East, whether it is in the Ijebu North, whether it's in Odeda, whether it's in the Gesa, every part of Ogun State will be secured by this administration. It is a commitment. You cannot have development without the security.
He noted that the current administration will continue to make investments in security to ensure that every indigene of the state can sleep with their two eyes closed.
The governor has directed that security should be beefed up around all our institutions in the state. And he has also further directed that all the police formations, including their contact, should be shared with the student leaders and principals as well. So anywhere you are, you know under which police division you are. So if there's any issue whatsoever, you can always call the DPO. And if they don't respond, please escalate. The AIG is here, the commissioner is here, and all of us are here. We're here because we are there. Without you, there can be government.
Tunde Olaniro, OGTV News.
Still on security in Ogun State, the government has promised to ensure that students and pupils continue to learn in a conducive environment where there is adequate security. This was the crux of the press conference on the rescued students of the Olabisi Onabanjo University. Governor's office correspondent Tunde Olaniro again reports that the government promised to make the state unbearable for criminals. His reports.
You abducted students was really a good news, not only to the parents, but also to the governor of Ogun State, Prince Abiodun. The press conference is to notify the public officially of their rescue without hurt.
There are no concerns about their health as far as we're concerned. They've got cuts and bruises because they've been walking through the woods, so they've been checked by the health personnel from one of our state hospitals, and the necessary vaccinations such as rabies and tetanus have been they've been advised to give them, just to ensure that they don't come to the way of harm.
The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in Ogun State, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, said plans are already underway for the security of the institutions in the state.
So I want to assure you that we are not resting on our hours. We will ensure that our students, our children, can actually have their teaching and learning under a very conducive atmosphere without any interference.
The Commissioner for Information and Strategy noted that security is of importance to the current administration.
This kind of thing. We do not pray for this to happen again. And he has also enjoined the authorities in our schools to also be alert, students and every individual to take their security issue personally and seriously. On the part of government, the government will do everything possible to ensure the safety of life and property in Ogun State.
While fielding questions from journalists, the Commissioner for Information disclosed that the students were rescued without paying any ransom to the abductors.
Let it be known that the government and even the security agencies will make any attempt, anybody that is intending to do that kind of thing in Ogun State again, I'm sure the person will regret such action, because the security agencies have actually been asked to up the ante, and anybody that does that kind of thing will have cause to regret.
The girls were officially handed over to their parents by the Commissioner for Health in the state, Dr. Tomi Koka. Tunde Olaniro, OGTV News.
Away from security issues, the primary animal health center constructed by the federal government in Ajegule Farm Settlement, Odeda local government, has been commissioned and handed over to Ogun State government with an assurance that the project will support farmers in the quest for improved agricultural production. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Alhaji Sabo Nanono at the event revealed that monitoring animal health and preventing animal diseases outbreak is vital to the economy and safety of the country's food supply. Matthew Shomi completes the reports.
Primary Animal Health Center.
The new Primary Animal Health Center, made up of consulting room, treatment room, laboratory, doctor's room, and equipped with a solar-powered borehole constructed by the federal government, has been commissioned and handed over to the Ogun State government through the Ministry of Agriculture. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Sabo Nanono, represented by the Southwest Zonal Director of the Ministry, Engineer Olani Ogunbiyi, said the Animal Health Center has been built to ensure regular access to relevant animal husbandry, stakeholders to animal health management involving general care, disease prevention, parasite control, husbandry, housing, and feeding of animals.
The decision of Ogun State government to provide land, infrastructure, and security support for this project in one of our farm settlements known for livestock value chain activities, especially poultry and piggery, and which is also in close proximity to other livestock entrepreneurship activity at other locations in the state capital, we promote and support the renewed interest of our people in benefiting from agricultural support activities of Ogun State, which has been acknowledged by stakeholders to be responsive and targeted at real beneficiaries.
Commissioner for Agriculture, Ogun State, Dr. Adeola Odedino, said the donation cannot be more apt at a time than when the state is deliberately supporting livestock value chain activities as a way of ensuring food security, job creation, and agricultural industrialization.
This project has been designed to adequately handle the health issues of farm animals for survival and for increased productivity, monitoring animal health and preventing animal diseases outbreak is vital to the economy and safety of any country's food supply.
Federal Director of Veterinary and Pest Control, represented by Dr. Ayo Ajayi, said the state is on a high pedestal in animal health management, adding that the center will further boost livestock production by meeting the animal health care needs of farmers. Chairman of Ajegule Farm Settlement, Engineer Olalekan Ojiboku praised the government for citing the project where it is highly needed.
The majority of our, 75% of our farmers here are livestock farmers. So by putting this clinic here, we really appreciate both the excellency.
They promise to make good use of the facilities. Matthew Shomi, OGTV News.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has maintained that vaccination against COVID-19 should not be stopped in Nigeria despite fears over the side effects of the jabs. Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, Director General of the agency, who said this, believes that with the numbers of life lost to the pandemic, altering the vaccination campaign in the country is not advisable. Although many countries have altered the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine over fears about possible side effects like blood clotting, Professor Adeyeye believes that the benefits of taking the jabs far outweigh such fear. She said the AstraZeneca vaccine is not the first to be used under emergency authorization, explaining that other COVID-19 vaccines have been reported to have had adverse effects on people who took the shots. According to her, over 500 persons have been vaccinated against the virus at the National Hospital in Abuja, but she said only about 6 persons had side effects like fever, chills, and pain. The House of Representatives has constituted a high-powered committee to draw up a blueprint to handle security challenges in the country and come up with a report within 3 weeks. Speaker of the House, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, announced that the composition of the committee was part of the decision reached during an executive session of the House early on Wednesday before the commencement of plenary. The Speaker said the committee would be made up of all principal officers of the House and 30 other members drawn from states across the country. The Federal Executive Council has approved the plan by the Ministry of Petroleum Resources to rehabilitate the Port Harcourt refinery with $1.5 billion. The decision was taken at the weekly meeting of the Council presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. The rehabilitation of the refinery will commence in 3 phases. The first phase is to be completed in 18 months, which will take the refinery to a production of 90% of its nameplate capacity. The second phase is to be completed in 24 months, and all the final stages will be completed in 44 months, and consultations are approved. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has arrested a former registrar and chief executive officer of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, Professor Dibu Ojerinde, for allegedly misappropriating 900 million naira. Ojerinde, who was arrested on Monday in Abuja by ICPC operatives, was alleged to have committed multiple frauds while handling JAMB and the National Examination Council. He has been detained by the Commission for questioning over allegations of multiple identities, abuse of office, money laundering, tax evasion, and making false statements to public officials. The former JAMB boss was also being questioned by the Anti-Graft Agency for allegedly awarding fraudulent contracts to shell companies that cannot be traced. And on the foreign scene, Tanzanian President John Magufuli died Wednesday, age 61, from a heart condition. His vice president said after more than 5 years of divisive authoritarian rule, capped by his refusal to take COVID-19 seriously. Magufuli, popularly nicknamed the Bulldozer, had been missing from public view for almost 3 weeks, fueling wild rumors of his ill health with opposition leaders, claiming he had contracted the virus. She said Magufuli had died of a heart condition, which he has suffered from for a decade at a hospital in Dar es Salaam. He had first been briefly admitted to the Jakaya Kikwete Cardiac Institute on March 6, but was subsequently discharged, as Ann said. But Magufuli has again felt unwell and was on March 14 rushed to hospital, this time to the Emilio Menzen Memorial Hospital in Dar es Salaam. Magufuli last appeared in public on February 27, and the fervent Catholic had missed 3 Sunday services where he would often address the congregation. Speaking concerned, opposition leader Tundu Lissu cited sources saying that he had caught the virus as demand grew for information on his whereabouts, and rumors took off that Magufuli was seeking treatment outside the country. In the world of sports, Tiger Woods has returned home and would work on getting stronger every day, following the car crash that left him with significant injuries. The American 45 needed surgery after suffering a fractured leg and shattered ankle in the crash. The 15-time major champion was moved to Cedar Sinai Medical Center for follow-up procedures on 27 February on Wednesday. He tweeted he's happy to be back home for recovery while acknowledging his fans for the outpouring of support and encouragement he has received over the past few weeks. Woods, who was recovering from back surgery at the time of his accident, was found unconscious and with his face and chin covered in blood at the scene. To round up the midday news, clarity is the key to effective leadership. What are your goals? Don't forget that you can also watch us live on this platform, Apple, Roku, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or email info@ogtv.com.ng. Many thanks for staying with us on the midday news. Good afternoon.